In this video, you learn how to play your guitar with dynamics and the key things you need to consider to get a great sound. Now, the topic of dynamics runs deep and involves a whole lot more than just the volume at which you play your guitar. Hi, this is Simon Candy from Acoustic Guitar Lessons Online.net, and in today's video I sit down with rhythm guitar specialist Mark Turko to discuss and demonstrate dynamics. We look at a number of things that you can do, very simple things, to get a great sound out of your instrument. We look at strumming versus picking and the dynamics you can get from those two techniques. We also look at the pick. What sort of pick do you use? The thickness of the pick, the material it's made from. This has big implications on the tone you get from your instrument. Plus, we'll look at the nail and how you can incorporate that into your strumming for a really cool sound. The great news is once you're aware of dynamics, your playing will improve immediately. It's not rocket science. It's often very simple things that once you bring your awareness to it, your playing starts to sound a whole lot better. So let's get to it. Dynamics are so important. They really are one of the major things that make, one of those differences between pro versus amateur. We always talk about pro versus amateur, which doesn't necessarily mean, or in my book, doesn't mean, someone who goes out and plays gigs and gets paid versus someone who sits home and plays. It's how you sound when you play in either situation. Dynamics are something that you can pretty much immediately improve and make a difference to your playing with just by being aware of them. And there's a few different ways to think about dynamics too. The obvious one is volume. So are we playing loud? Are we playing soft? Are we playing somewhere in between? Is there dynamic range across the song that we're playing? Because not all things are going to be equal in volume. We're not talking about turning our amp up and down. We're talking about the attack we have on the strings of the guitar, whatever we're doing at the time. Or we have dynamics within a single bar or even, a couple of beats. Not everything's going to be equal, and there's different ways that we can work with dynamics. There's lots of things that we can talk about here, but I'll try and keep it kind of a little bit more on point. So for example, if we're strumming, we don't want to strum everything at the same volume. Because if we were to say record like that and we saw the waveform, it would be just this thick line, and we don't want that. That's just going to be, it's not going to sound good or too musical. It's just going to be all blah, all the one level. We'd rather see these peaks and troughs if you just think of a typical sort of waveform. If we're strumming, we don't want to necessarily hit all the strings, every single strum. We want to hit, it depends on the accent of the strumming pattern, depends on, what we want to pop out. So that can depend on what you want or the song that you're playing, but you sometimes will target the lower parts of the strings on certain strums, and sometimes the top strings with your strumming. So you sort of disperse your strumming across the strings as opposed to just hitting all the strings with every down and every up stroke. So there's targeting the strings, there's muting, palm muting on certain parts. That's great for rhythm parts, to get that punch and to get the dynamic there. You hear it a lot in sort of blues parts, instead of just everything being the same level all the time. We want to get a little bit more of a dynamic happening there. So it's the way you hit the strings, the force you hit the strings, which strings you hit. There's the pick that you use. I've got a reasonably, I don't know what this is, it doesn't say on it. I think it's about 1 mil, which would be about what I'd want for strumming. Maybe 0.75 to 1 mil for strumming is good. If I've got something a bit thicker, it can sound okay, but it can be a little bit sort of heavy. It's not horrible. These are really nice picks actually, but it's pretty thick. I probably want something around about the mil, but even, the same gauge pick can be different. If you've got, a bunch of 1 mil picks, they can all sound different. So you find something that you like the sound of. Many years ago, I used to play with almost paper thin pick. I don't think I got a really thin pick on me here, but when you're strumming with a thin pick, it kind of provides a bit of a percussive type of element to your strumming.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
because I found that especially if you're recording,
Mm-hmm.
you really hear the percussiveness of the pick. More so than a 0.75 or a 1 mil. It's hard to hear the difference. I get the materials might make, if they're different materials, it'll sound different. But something about those super thin picks when you're recording, they seem to translate well through a microphone.
Another thing I do a lot with my strumming when I got the pick, but quite not all the time. I think I do this. I will put in certain strums with just the back of my nails because I like the sound. So you can't see this here, but I'm strumming with the pick, but there are certain downs where I'll just use the back of my nails as well, because I just like the sound of that. I remember that coming into my playing about 20 years ago, and I don't know why, but it's just, you know, I'll do that quite a bit now, probably without even realizing it. So it's just looking for the nice, I mean, we're talking more about tone here, but that is everything too, you know, getting the sound that you like, and picks make a huge difference. I mean, there's nothing worse than playing with a crappy pick, right? You know, you'd rather play with no pick. There's also just, you know, picking out notes as opposed to strumming and mixing those things together. That creates a certain dynamic as well. So it's not always just about volume, although that is really big and important. And if you're aware of it, you can fix it or make a difference with your playing immediately. And it's so easy to forget about that, the dynamics and just the targeting of the strumming. If you would like help with your finger picking, the kind of help that gets you results in the most direct, efficient, fun way possible, then check out the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course, a complete system for fingerpicking acoustic guitar, so simple even a beginner can learn it. I've carefully designed this course to do all the heavy lifting for you, as far as knowing exactly what to do, how to do it, and when to do it in regard to mastering the art of fingerpicking guitar. All you have to do is follow the pathway I've laid out for you. In the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course, you will learn and master all the key concepts, methods, strategies, and techniques needed for fingerpicking, so you'll never put your guitar down in frustration again, thinking, how the hell do I do this? You will also discover the exact order in which to do things, avoiding the all too common mistakes most people make when learning to fingerpick guitar, saving you precious time and frustration. Have your hand held every step of the way with the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course. It will take you from wherever you are at right now with your fingerpicking to where you would like to be, enjoying every part of the process along the way. So click the link in the description below the video and check out the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course. Let me know in the comments below what acoustic guitar topics you'd like to see covered in future videos. I read every comment and I do my very best to reply to them all, so don't be shy. Drop us a line, let us know what you would like to see. If you like this video, then hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Now, my YouTube analytics tell me that 80% of people who watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You might think you are, because if you watch a few videos, other videos will pop up in your feed and you'll think you're subscribed. So do subscribe. Hit the notification bell button so YouTube also tells you when I've released a new video, which is every week. I would really appreciate that. I also very much appreciate you being here today. So thank you so much. This is Simon Candy from acousticguitarlessonsonline.net, and I very much look forward to seeing you in the next video.